this lesson's going to be really exciting because today you guys are learning how to crochet a chain. Look at this. Ooh, ah. You're going to know how to do this in like a few minutes. Ready? Let's go. Welcome back to the Crochet Academy. In the last lesson, we learned how to hold our hook and the yarn at the same time. And now we're going to put that together and actually crochet our first chain. Remember, take your time. It's okay to get frustrated. And literally every crocheter started exactly where you are. And with that being said, let's get into lesson 3. So to start with, we have our yarn. Again, use whatever yarn you have, but this is just an acrylic weight 4 yarn. And then today I'm using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. Use whatever y'all have though, but I'm actually going to show y'all 3 different types of crochet hooks. That way y'all can see why your size hook matters. But the reason why I'm going to start with the 4.5 is because I'm hoping with it being gold and the yarn being blue that it will be easier to see what I'm doing. So first, make your slip knot. And if you need a refresher, just go back to lesson 1. So first, I'm going to show you what the movement looks like at quote-unquote normal speed. But this is what we're doing, and this is our goal, is to crochet a chain, also called your foundation chain. But don't worry, we're going to go a lot slower than that. I just wanted to show you what the end goal / product is supposed to look like. So again, we have our slip knot. Hold your crochet hook and your yarn, and what you're going to do is you're going to put your crochet hook and put the yarn over your crochet hook. So I'm going to show that movement again. Yarn goes over your crochet hook, and what we're trying to do is we're using our hook to basically grab the yarn through our slip knot. So I'm going to do that again. So you're going to make sure your yarn goes on top of your crochet hook like that. That way the hook part can grab the yarn. Let me let it focus. And then you're pulling through your slip knot like that. So that's going to be your first chain. And then we're going to do that again. Use our crochet hook to pull the yarn through. I'm going to show you a few more times at the same pace. Pull through. Use your crochet hook to go and pull through your knot. So now I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do one more. Pull through 5. Now, if you're having trouble with this, there might be a few things that you're doing without realizing it. So I'm going to start over. That way I can show you some mistakes to look out for. So one thing you might be doing is not holding on to the tail of your project. And watch what happens when I don't hold on to it and I'm just trying to pull it through. It twists and turns. Did you see that? So if I'm not holding on to it, see how it's twisting and turning? Now, you might be having trouble maneuvering, holding the project and your yarn at the same time and your hook. What I did to begin with is I used to tape down my tail like this. That way it was kind of anchored in while I got my project started, and then I would just take the tape off later. Please feel free to do that if that's what you need to get started with. I promise it'll click eventually on how to hold everything together. So don't be ashamed if you need a little bit of a trick to help you out. So that might be mistake 1, is that you're not holding your tail, because then it's just going to twist and turn like that, and you're not going to be able to pull your yarn through your hook. Another mistake you might be making is making your slip knot and chains too tight. So if you remember in lesson 1, I warned you about this for this reason. Say if I make my slip knot too tight, I'm going to have a really hard time to pull it through. I'm not saying it's impossible, like I could get that through, but if I keep doing them tight like that, it's going to make it really hard to pull through consistently. And then when it comes to lesson 2, where we go back in these, it's going to be really hard to get our crochet hook in the proper hole. See what I mean? So the best way to avoid that mistake is controlling your tension. And that's going to be your not dominant hand. So if I'm pulling on my tension tighter, and you can kind of see how the fibers, let me let it focus. fibers get more pulled versus a more relaxed tension hold. So this is tight, this is more loose. You want to find a happy medium between the two. Try to pay attention to how these fibers are looking like. So see, as I'm pulling through, I'm just allowing my hand to guide the yarn and kind of hold it in place, not making sure that my tension isn't too tight. Next mistake you might be making is not having your hook facing down / doing yarn over. And what I mean by that is, say if I turn my crochet hook, so you know how I told y'all to make sure it's facing down. So if this is the side profile, see how my crochet hook is facing down. If I turn it up instead, this is what happens. I'm gonna have a harder time pulling it through my loop. Again, not saying impossible, but a lot harder. And I'm trying to teach y'all good fundamentals here. That way you guys have an easier time later. So make sure that your crochet hook is not facing up like this, but facing down. And then also make sure that when you have your crochet hook, that you're going yarn over. And what I mean by that is just what the name implies. The yarn needs to go over the hook. See? Because if I go the other way, I'm going to be wrapping too many times around to where I'm going to be able to pull it through, but my chains are going to come out looking really weird. And this is not the kind of chain that we're trying to do. Now, there are some cases where yarn under is applicable, but not right here. So for right now, just focus on yarn over. So to show you again, crochet hook down, yarn over, pull through. The biggest mistakes I see when it comes to new crocheters is, one, their crochet hook isn't facing down like this, but instead facing up. So make sure that your crochet hook is facing down. And then also, they're not holding onto their tail part of their project to keep it stable. So then it's just twisting around like that. So next, what we're gonna do, now that I've showed y'all how to do a proper chain, is we're going to make a row of 10. And this practice is accomplishing two things. Not only are we practicing on our tension and our consistency when it comes to our chains, but we're also working on counting our stitches. So remember, your slip knot does not count as a stitch. The first stitch is going to be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10. And this would also be a really good time to work on counting them once they're already made like this. So for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what we're counting is these little circles, or little holes, I guess is a better word. Each one of those holes represents a new chain. And once you've done that, take a look at all your work, meaning like the back too, just so you can get familiar with what chains look like, get a better idea of the structure of a chain. And once you've crocheted those 10, you're gonna undo it and do it again, but this time chain 20. Actually, let me crochet 10 real quick again. Okay, so I have 10 on here, and what I'm gonna do is cut off this chain because I want y'all to see something. Okay, keep in mind that this chain was made with a 4.5, and now I'm going to show you what a chain looks like made with a crochet hook 1 millimeter bigger. So this is a 5.5. So I'm going to make another 10 real quick. Okay, I'm going to cut this off. Okay, so this one, same amount of stitches, but made with a 5.5 crochet hook. Here we go. There, got it to focus. And I'm going to show you one more size. This is a 6.5. So now I'm going to lay these out real quick for you. We have our 6.5. We have our chain made with a 5.5 and then with the 4.5. So y'all can see the difference in size between these. Basically, the bigger the crochet hook, the larger your chain is going to be, and the larger your holes, oops, sorry, there you go. The larger your chain's going to be, and the larger the holes are going to be. And the smaller the crochet hook is, the smaller your chains are going to be. So here's a close-up, just so you can see the difference between them. But again, for the project we're working towards, it really doesn't matter what size hook you have. I recommend somewhere between a 4 and a 5, but use whatever y'all have. But I just wanted to show you that and why when you're making specific projects and they recommend a crochet hook size, it's because it really does make a big difference when it comes to how big or small your project will turn out. But back to our 4.5 hook, I want y'all to make sure on this next practice run, because we're going to chain 20 now, since we practiced making 10, is to make sure you're working on making sure your chains are as similar as possible. So what I mean by that is I'm going to crochet using my regular tension. I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4, and now I'm going to do a really loose tension, and I'm also pulling up on my hoop to where it's not the same as that, just to show you what I mean by consistency. And then I'm going to do some really tight. 4. Okay, so you can see a clear difference, I'll let that focus there, between all my stitches. Here is what you're kind of shooting more towards, is a tension that's more neutral compared to the other ones. This was my looser tension over here, and then this was my really tight tension. So when y'all are practicing, I want y'all to take a break from your project every once in a while to look at it and see if your chains are even with each other. Because the more consistent your chains look, the more uniform your project's gonna look too. So let's undo that, and let's go ahead and crochet 20 together real quick. 18, 19, 20. There we go. And y'all can keep practicing on the same piece of yarn, or if you want to cut it off and put it to the side and make another chain, that way you can compare your progress, feel free to do that as well. But practice this until you feel like your chains look more even. And again, keep in mind, and I'm gonna probably sound like a broken record throughout these lessons, make sure that your tension's not too tight or too loose, and you're gonna really thank yourself in the next lesson when we learn how to start our true first chain of single crochets. And remember, all you need to do to undo your chain is you're just gonna pull on the yarn that's closest to your ball of yarn, so your working yarn. And as you pull it, you'll see it start to unravel. And then y'all can practice again. Yay! Good job, you guys! You officially know how to crochet a chain. In the next lesson, we're gonna use this chain to make your first row of single crochets. So we're actually gonna be making the project bigger this way instead of just this way. I'm really proud of y'all for sticking with it, and I'll see y'all in lesson 4. And don't forget, keep crocheting, don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't forget to have a whole lot of fun while doing it. See y'all soon.